So dudes, this operator isn't bad, but everyone thinks she's bad. I'm talking about Rauora. A lot of people think Rauora is just a worse nomad, and in some instances, that's kind of true, but I think there's more to her than meets the eye. This video will show some examples of why I enjoy playing Rauora on linear maps. In particular, the Dust 2 of Siege, Oregon. Now, my autistic obsession with making this character work has been bad for my ranked win-loss, that much is true. But in my daring experimentation, I've discovered some things about Siege, operators, something about myself, and something about other players.
Yo, Smoke! Fucking swing him, you idiot!
Great comms, man. I have case
Holy
trophy,
shit,
by the way.
you fucking idiot!
Fucking relax, dude.
Don't even deserve anything, you fucking ass.
I'm moving in 2 days and I need your help. There's a GoFundMe at the QR code where you can click the link in the description. The post details everything that I won't get into in this video. You can read as much or as little as you like. If you're curious about my mental, I'm in great spirits. I have a great support system that's got my back no matter what. And I have an awesome community here. I love this game. I love you guys. And I am honored and privileged to be able to get to do what I get to do. I'm gonna fight to protect what I have. And I appreciate everybody's support, whether or not you donated some cash to the GoFundMe or just said hi to me at an event or liked, commented, subscribed. Any interaction at all has helped me. And I thank you so much for that. Once the ship gets into port, I'll let you know when it's underway again. Thanks. If you've been watching my streams for a while, you may notice that I've been a part of the Rauora propaganda ministry in an attempt to make ranked players understand that she's actually an underrated operator and you should consider playing her. One look at my R6 tracker will let you realize that my efforts to do such a thing have been completely unsuccessful. The body shot warrior phenomenon here notwithstanding, of course. You might think, well, Gwen, this just means you need to stop body shotting, and that's true. But I have a sizably decent KDR on Habana, and half the time I can't get her to work when the hatches are open. There's a couple of things going on here. One, Rainbow Six Siege is an inherently defender-sided game. I'm not sure what the threshold is for win rate for attackers that's considered acceptable for attacking operators, but I'd say that 48% is probably closer to the median than 50%. This actually highlights some interesting conversations about operator balancing, and I figured it's worth one more shot to show you the power of Rauora. Now, I actually have a theory, or perhaps more accurately, an excuse, for why my win rate with Rauora is so ass. And that's because I made a how-to with her, and that means I'm playing her in just about as many different scenarios as possible, regardless of whether she's a good option or not. This always spells doom for more specific use case kinds of operators. Rauora is one of those. This shows that Siege is about finding the right tool for the right job. Putting an operator in a situation where they're not useful is kind of like putting the square in the triangle hole. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Rauora is Ash. I'm not saying that she's the piece that gets to go in the square hole every single time. Rauora is very good on a specific kind of map. That is a map or a bomb site take that doesn't involve verticality. That is a linear map. For one, the Dom panel launcher does not work through vertical surfaces, which makes for a strong contrast with Nomad, her most direct comparison. This also contradicts the presence of Rauora's breaching charges. If you need a dedicated flank watch, I'm afraid to tell you that Nomad is just the more versatile option in a wide range of circumstances. Nomad's crowd controlling is unparalleled in Le Meta TDM. Her air jabs can be placed anywhere. Rauora has to place her gadget specifically on doorways. If there isn't a doorway, you don't have a flank watch. You have to hope there's a doorway, or get into a position where there is one. Most people aren't going to go into a custom game and find the specifically smart cutoffs for a map clear with Rauora in your back pocket. I'm crazy enough to do so. Most people will just bring a Nomad, and they should, because she's more efficient. So in all this, I'm not making a good case for Rauora, admittedly. Her machine pistol is pretty much impossible to use. She's a DMR or LMG operator with smoke grenades, and you can get that with Twitch or with Gridlock, both of which are easier to use. With Gridlock, you can throw the spike spillers wherever the hell you want. With Twitch, you can surgically dismantle the default camera network of the defense. Say that 5 times fast. You can counter Valkyrie and Mira too, which is huge. Under the right circumstances, you can help open the wall. So what the hell does Rauora even have? What makes her even a little bit viable? I mean, I showed you some use cases in the previous how-to. Just to make this argument even more difficult for me to make, just look at what Nomad does to this poor guy's ability to win this 1vx situation. It turns a potential 1v1 engagement opportunity into a completely hopeless forced peek at a single doorway. I don't even have to do anything. I can have the worst aim in the world and completely whiff my gunfight. But if I air jab this rotate off, this guy can't do anything about it. I could be Copper and still win this. And this was totally winnable for the doc. This was a 5v1 situation in which there was a pick, a team kill, and another pick. Nomad's air jabs here are basically Tommy Maguire stopping the train from collapsing off the bridge. Can I do this with Rauora? No, not really. Rauora provides free cover for the bomb plant, and that is different. There isn't a single attacking operator that provides cover on demand, and that is huge. A lot of people rightfully point out that the opponent can just shoot the panel open. Fair enough. But what that criticism often ignores is that they have to be close to the panel. They can't just shoot it from across the map. So this essentially forces the defense to make a decision. And when you force an opponent to make a decision, as silly and dumb as it looks, that means you have influence in a round. That influence can be something as simple as air jabbing a rotate and doing nothing for 45 seconds. It can be something as simple as pinging a guy when he's standing up next to a doorway. Siege is a game about ripple effects, and if you throw a rock in the pond at just the right time, you can have a resounding outcome. Top Floor Oregon illustrates Raora's effectiveness well to me, because the site has a lot of doorways. Duh. But that's also what makes Raora work in such an interesting way, and why I'm actually really excited to see what people do with her in competitive. Raora is not as versatile as Nomad, that's true. But depending on the map terrain, in this example, Oregon being a linear map without much verticality, as we've been over, and an overwhelming bulk of the gunfight done in a Counter-Strike style kind of room-to-room fashion, Raora can cordon off gunfight angles for the kid's bedroom bomb plant quite efficiently. And that forces defenders to make a decision to risk the gunfight from a specific point at which they will reveal themselves by shooting the panel open. A panel that Raora can of course shoot closed again if she has the opportunity. Raora is very good at narrowing down the amount of gunfighting angles an enemy can take, giving you the advantage through process of elimination, and anticipation of the exact position from which the defender is going to engage you from. Now, could I accomplish a similar thing here with Nomad? Sure, but this is an interesting example of using two different approaches to tackle the same problem. Both Bolo and Kid's Bedroom are power positions, cordoned off by a door frame, and two hard 90-degree angle corners to conceal the bomb plant. In this sense, Raora and Nomad allow you to slice the map up and treat it like a geometry problem. This is a great example of how the game can be simplified with enough trial and error, and how you should always do your due diligence even in a 5v1 situation. On the flip side, Raora can approach the bomb site from the opposite direction here, once again cordoning off Kid's Bedroom door and attic door to produce a similar outcome. Something that should be stated about Raora is the fact that the 417 is actually pretty well suited to her playstyle. Since her gadget is best used from a safe distance, she's at home with a hard-hitting rifle that can two-shot people even from out to long distances. For example, attic on Oregon is basically just a big lawn tube, and a great place for her to try and get the most out of her long-range fighting ability. The same can be said for other Oregon bomb sites, especially the basement. Power positions are often concealed by doorways since there isn't a lot of chest height cover on this bomb site. The game gets down to the nitty-gritty here. Default clearing, quick peeks, swinging off of sound cues, all that fun siege jazz. Raora paneling off the Shiko door here accomplishes something that you don't get out of a Nomad, and that is, once again, bulletproof cover. An air jab here wouldn't really be that useful, comparatively, because somebody can just stand in the middle of the doorway and contest you. Here you can slice that pie, and now all you have to worry about are the default mirror and pillar angles. Again, angles to which Raora is well suited to fighting with her DMR. And if it's necessary, the smoke grenades can let you move up and apply pressure once more with the dom panels. So Raora actually has more flexible positioning options than people give her credit for. Again, Raora is not Nomad. In this example, for a cafe top-down, she's really good at locking off the staircases. This is something that Raora is not suited to. Obviously, in this case, Raora does not have a door frame. You could argue that you could hit the double doors, as you can see the one that I just walked through, but that's still going to give up a considerable amount of control. That means the entire staircase is cut off visually. That's not good. Nomad is just more versatile, and she's more suited to this particular kind of role. Raora has a specific kind of use case that can sometimes overlap with Nomad's specific job. I hope this video taught you a thing or two about Rainbow Six Siege operator design concepts, and maybe it opened you to approaching it in a way that you didn't previously. If this video raised your Siege IQ, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. It does help me a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully on Thursday. Thank you all so much. Deuces.